everybody. It's time for another cooking video. So today we're going to make something very simple but something very delicious that all of you, I'm sure, will like. It is French toast. Now this is a very simple recipe. However, and I've sent this to you by mail with a packet with some questions to answer. But we're going to get started right away. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 2 eggs. And as we always do in the kitchen, tap, 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 tap on the table. Open the egg into a bowl first. If there are no shells, which there are none, we put it into the bowl we're going to make the French toast batter in. Take another egg, same thing. Tap, tap, tap. Crack the egg. And there we have it. No shells, we're good. Okay, so now we take a whisk. This is called a whisk. And we simply break up the egg and whisk it. And now we're going to measure in a liquid measuring cup our milk. We're going to go with a 1/2 cup. And as always, we want to put our eye down at the measuring cup level to make sure we're good, and we are. So we add that in. Okay. And then we simply incorporate the milk into the egg, whisking vigorously. Now we're going to add our cinnamon. It calls for a 1/4 teaspoon. However, you could add a bit more. I'm going to add a scant, which means light, 1/2 teaspoon. And the recipe doesn't mention it, but nutmeg is very, very nice in French toast. So I'm going to add a little optional nutmeg, and I'm going to go with a 1/4 teaspoon of that. And I'm also going to add one other optional ingredient, which is vanilla. I'm going to go with a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Vanilla makes it very nice. So I'm putting that in, and now we combine again. Okay, very simple. And that's basically it for the batter. So there we have it. Okay? I don't want to spill it. But you see? Very nice. Then we take a piece of bread. Now it can be whole grain bread. It could be white bread like this is. Any kind of bread that you like. And then you simply submerge the bread in the batter, and you really want to soak it. So you could leave it for a while, but leaving it for a minute is about right. Okay, so we are going to move over to the stove because we're going to be cooking it in a cast iron skillet. Here we go. Let's set this up so you can see. How's that? It's a bit backlit, but I've got this pan heated up now. The recipe that I've given you calls for nonstick baking spray, but if you use butter, it will give a better flavor. So this pan is hot. You see the butter foams. See that? I'm going to increase the heat a bit. I'm swirling the butter in the pan to melt it and let it coat the bottom. Okay, so I used, maybe a little less than a tablespoon of butter for a big pan like that. And I'm going to use a spatula. I'm going to use a spatula with holes in it because when I take the bread out, I want to drain the bread. You see that? Okay, so my butter has stopped foaming. That means it's fairly hot. I'm just going to put it in the center of the pan and let it cook. Okay. So there we have it. Now, when you eat the French toast, it's very nice to have maple syrup. Real maple syrup is the best, of course, and we live in Vermont, so I think that you will have maple syrup around and or easy to buy. Maybe someone down the road makes it local in your area that you live, or in New Hampshire. So it's very nice with maple syrup. Now, you can always put a little pitcher of maple syrup, and if you set it in hot water, it'll warm the syrup gently, which is really luxurious because when you pour cold maple syrup on your pancake or French toast, it cools it off quite a lot. That's something that I do at home when I serve my French toast. It's a nice touch. Now, when I eat French toast or I serve it at home, we sometimes put a little wheat germ on it, which is very, very nutritious. We sprinkle it on. It's got sort of a nutty flavor, and it's very, very high in B vitamins and protein. Another thing we sometimes have is we have crushed nuts like hazelnuts that we toast. Very luxurious. All right, so now I see that it's beginning to brown, and so I'm going to take a large spatula and get under it all the way so it's supported and simply flip it right over. And there you have it, you see? Can you see that? It's nicely browned, that's what you're looking for. And if you let the bread soak long enough, the egg will puff and the French toast will rise up a little bit and be puffy. That's very nice. So I'm going to give that, so you saw that I had that in the pan. It's at a medium heat or medium high. You can see the way it's cooking by the amount of sizzling. If it's smoking a lot, that might mean it's a little too high. I just turned mine down a little bit. If the pan gets really hot and you have an electric stove like this, and I'm telling you this all the time in cooking class, what you want to do is remove the pan from the burner to a cool burner. And that way, it'll cool off immediately. On a gas stove, you can reduce the size of the flame and the effect will be immediate. But on an electric stove, that does not happen because the element cools very slowly. All right, so that's cooking nicely. What else can I tell you? Yes. We're waiting for the French toast to be done. Okay, so you can always take a peek, lift it up, and I see that it's nicely browned already, and it's beginning to puff a little, so I simply support the toast and put it on my plate. Turn off the burner, and you're ready to make your next piece of French toast. Now, if your pan is big enough, you can make 2 at once. There it is, folks. All right, I'm ending this video. Don't forget that I'm sending this video to your email, and I'm going to try to post it on the Meadow School YouTube channel. So look for it there as well. And please do let me know if you've done any of the cooking from any of the videos I've sent. I would like to hear from you, whether you've done some. And if you can't manage to do the cooking from the videos, do just watch it, because you will get some educational benefit from that. Okay, signing off. I hope you all are well and are not too bored. Jesse Lepkoff, Meadow School, signing off. Sayonara.